Okay, good evening, everyone. It's Billy Kirkwood. I'm here with Simon Cassidy, of course.
Aye. That was sudden.
That was sudden. I do apologise. We're not kicking off the show straight away because we think it would be ill of us not to say. Of course, it's been a 1-year anniversary since we lost a friend of ours, a member of the family here in ICW, and we just wanted to take just a little second before we get into our regularly scheduled programming, if that's what we say, Simon, to give, obviously, once again, our condolences to all Lionhearts fans all around the world. We miss him dearly, and we wish that the world was in a place where we could pay a proper tribute to him. So, with that in mind, we'll just have to do ICW Lockdown, which is maybe not as good as it could be, especially considering I'm using my crappy MacBook right now. But the show must go on, and we've got a great guest tonight, so we're very excited. Simon, are you ready to get the show started?
Let's go.
Let's get on our credits, shall we? And there it is, the jump cut that nobody enjoys. How you doing, everyone? I'm Billy Kirkwood, here with Simon Cassidy. How are you, Simon?
I'm not bad, sir. Not bad at all. How you getting on?
Fucking hellish, but let's continue the show. Well, we can speak. We're here in Scotland. We hope wherever you are around the world, you're healthy and you're safe. We've got a great guest for you, someone we've been trying to get on the show since day one, and we're delighted to finally get him here. Simon, we have a little tradition here at ICW that you usually give the huge, big ICW ring announcer welcome to our guest. I want to make sure he hears it. So, Simon, when you're ready, start the announcement. Yeah, start the announcement.
Simon, before we start, let's do our traditional introduction. So all I'm going to do is show you this, and you know the rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, ICW Lockdown will not continue until Sha Samuels has finished his drink.
Cheers.
Finished!
There we go. You never let a man drink alone. Right.
Here
Simon,
we go.
Simon, give him the big ICW intro. It's been a while since he'll have heard it. Give it the beans.
So, ladies and gentlemen, making his way into ICW Lockdown, he is the East End Butcher. This is Sha Samuels.
There you go.
Thanks for having me, Simon. Can't wait to do this.
How are you, big man? Are you good?
It's been a bad couple of days. Unfortunately, my dad went missing. You know, he's under a lot of pressure. Right? We run a family business, and I think it's getting to him. It was worrying. Thank God he's been found, but that was a very, very stressful time, and I'm happy that's over and done with. I was meant to do some other podcasts and stuff during the week. I just couldn't do it. But now he's safe and sound. I thought I'm going to do Lockdown. So, yeah.
We're delighted to hear he's okay. We're delighted to hear he's okay, mate, really.
But it just shows you, right? Lockdown affects you in many, many ways. You know, I know we've got this terrible virus, but people are losing money. People are losing jobs. People can't afford to eat. It's a scary time. 2020 is not a good year.
No, it's to put it mildly.
May I be the first to say fuck 2020 in all fairness.
Fuck 2020.
I'm not even going to be nice about it.
It started shitty for me, and I just hope it ends well for me. It's been a tough year, like from ever since Adrian passed.
Of course.
Yeah.
Up until end of January, early February. My life was just like this. So I lost my best friend. Then my parents divorced. Then I lost my nan. You know, then I get an opportunity. Then I had the issues with down south involving a referee, which was I was getting attacked online constantly, and which didn't help. Basically, it was all Josh Bowden. It was a mistake. I own up to it, but that was a very tough time for me as well. Then, as soon as 2020 comes around, I get an opportunity to go to the PC, the UK PC, and get offered a deal. I'm over the moon. I worked 18 years to get that contract, but because of my injury, they couldn't countersign. And that's not. I don't have no ill will to them because they have to look after the safety of the performers. But it was just like boom, 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 boom. And then what happened? Fucking coronavirus. So it's not been good. Let's put it that way.
We didn't think about it. It does feel like, yeah. Fucking hell, mate. We're just a guitar away from a country song. That is a bastard. You know what I mean? Holy shit.
What did help, because, this quarantine has enabled me to be with my family and spending time a lot with my kids.
Yeah.
I'm in the house with them a lot. I feel refreshed. I feel great. You realise what's important in life. So I'm taking that positive. I think quarantine is a good time in my life, personally.
That's what we're all about here on ICW Lockdown. We know there is plenty of people watching, and again, we've said it before. Look after yourselves. We're always here to listen, and that's really important. If nothing we've learned in the last year, we're all going to look after each other. And if you are watching wherever you are, let us be a wee bit distraction for you for the next 30 minutes, and we're gonna have some fun. It does feel like ages since we've seen you. The last time I think I got to see you properly was at the Square Go when you were my commentary partner for a minute.
Yeah. We did well. I thought we did well. I thought David Kennedy, I like him, but I thought,
there's something there. You know what I mean?
And then after that, because I was injured, I managed to get a few commentary jobs for Rev
I saw
Pro.
that.
And I was like, I'm not good yet, but I'm learning. So I think it's good to have another act in your arsenal, if you get what I mean. So if you're injured, do commentary, be a manager. I'm trying out all these new things. I started teaching people at schools because wrestling. There's so many, like you used to know, there's so many other jobs in wrestling. It's not just being a wrestler, if that makes sense. Yeah. So there's there's jobs out there.
Well, I saw you were a ring announcer for a show, and frankly, it gave me the fear. So
that voice, Sha's got the big voice, man. Sha's got the big voice.
That's a lot of fun. I can see why you're doing it. I see why you like I see like you like commentary. I can see why you like ring announcing. But don't worry, I'm not coming for this yet. All right?
You've got a few years left. Well, that's Sha,
can I ask you this, actually? I've always wanted to do this. I know you've done a bit of the ring announcing. Is there any chance that just once for tonight, could you ring announce Simon?
Yeah, sure. Where are you from?
Paisley.
Paisley. Here we go. That'll be easy. I'll take my glasses off. Let me get a pretend microphone. All right. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way into the ring from the tightest, stingiest part of Scotland. Paisley, please welcome Simon, the Mean Machine, Cassidy!
We're putting the belt on you, son. We're putting the belt on you.
I'm genuinely quite impressed by that.
I don't know how you do that for a 4-hour fucking show, especially when we do the big ones.
I gotta admit, man, that was fucking.
Right. Here's a question for you, Billy. Right. Say you're in the commentary booth. Right. Yeah. Second match in. There's 3 matches to interval, and you need a piss. What do you do?
Just hold it. Just hold it, man. I just hold it.
It's not a bedpan or anything, is there?
No, mate, I just wait for a segment or a piss up Jamie's leg. If I get really bad, just okay. He's always
How
got
long
smart.
was that going for? 15. I should make it. You know.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'll wait for a segment.
I think it was literally the second Hydro show where we're like, it was like 4 matches till the main, and I was absolutely dying. And like, I remember going, I think I've got time. And just literally sprinting through the Hydro, forgetting how far away the toilets actually are. And then but taking the mic with me, so that if I held the bell ring, I would just go, all right, who won? Like,
we've all had stories like that. I remember I was wrestling Joe Coffey on one of the tours with you. I think it was Bournemouth. And I thought, I've got time for a shit. And the thing is, I didn't have my gear on. I didn't have my boots on. Right? I didn't have my boots on. So I did there. And it was longer than expected. Out the toilet, my music's been playing for fucking 5 minutes.
I remember that.
No. So I'm putting one boot on. Damo's putting the other boot on. Joe's in the ring thinking, what the fuck's going on? And I thought, we're going at Oost and always forgiven, I hope. But when you got to go, you got to go.
Do you know the thing is, in situations like that, I think, and that one in particular, I think some people think I've got like an earpiece or something. Because like Joe's coming over going, what's going on? I was like, I don't know, I'm standing here with you. Like,
it's like when someone's music doesn't work and all the wrestlers look at me at the commentary desk. It's like, do you see a fucking CD player?
It's not my fault.
So we've got a couple of questions. We've got loads of questions coming in for you already, Sha. If you're watching tonight, you want to give Sha a question, it could be anything to do with his career. All you need to do is pop it in the comments. We're going to do our best to get through as many as we can. Right, let's get to the first one, shall we? It's one from our pal Westy. Let me see. How much fun was Grado's family bash the first time you did it?
The first Grado's family wrestling bash was amazing, right? I loved it. The setup, the fact that it was in such a historic theatre. But the thing is, the thing you don't do in wrestling now, you don't play on racial stereotypes. Maybe I shouldn't have said racial stereotypes, country stereotypes.
All right.
But he was like, nah, you're England, this is Scotland. I'm like, that's a bit passe, you sure? I was like, trust me, we're going to build this all night. So we're doing dueling battles on the Royal boxes, which was good. But then my music entrance kicked in for the match, and it was Vindaloo, which was a England World Cup song.
Yeah,
I did not want that. I was like, right, you're right. Old passe stereotypical stuff works, because if it was up to me now, I'd have Vindaloo as my song all the time. And it was a great show. He really did. He did his ego's out of control, calling it the Grado Family Wrestling Bash. But apart from that, good thing going, he has.
Well, I've not been booked for it.
I was going to say drop my message, but lockdown, innit?
Wait, if it was a lockdown, drop him a message. He won't answer.
Like, literally, Grado was meant to do a one fall session like 2 years ago. And like we kind of talked about a date, so I messaged and went, right, just checking. I'm going to book this date. Is that cool? And he didn't reply. And I went, right. I've now spoken to the venue. The date is secured. You still game? None. And then a week later, I messaged and went, mate, I'm giving you till the end of the day. I said, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to have to book somebody else. So like, let's have got the end of the day, didn't hear it, and then I can't even remember who I got instead, but it was just a completely different panel. Like, his
defense, he gets a lot of messages, right?
Oh,
he showed me his WhatsApp. He showed me his iMessage. You're talking triple digits on each. Like he gets bombarded. The stuff he wants to answer to gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
because he's shoot powers going. What did you think of the Undertaker's match? Then the next message down could be something that could be a job. He misses a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that.
No, fuck that.
Totally.
Fuck that. Right, I've got another question for you. That's a good one here. What's been the most memorable moment of your career so far?
Oh, I've got to say three. There's three of them.
All right.
I
Let's
would
talk
say-
through.
If that's because I would say beating Tenzan and Kojima at the joint New Japan Rev Pro show at York Hall.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
The only British talent that were allowed that got cleared by the office to go over, and them two are actual wrestling legends. So to have that, them wanting to put us over, they cleared it with the office. That's an achievement in my mind. I would say, this one gets a lot of slack and people take the piss. But being on ITV, doing British wrestling when they revamped World of Sport, slag it all you want. I understand. We know your concerns of what the problems were, but the fact is, British wrestling worked its bollocks off to get professional wrestling back on ITV. I'm proud of that one. That's the biggest achievement. Third one, tag him with Jack Jester. And that was totally out of the blue because he's changed my character, he's changed my gimmick, he's given me confidence to try new things. I think I finally feel like I can, instead of being that mean, horrible, bastard, I feel like I've got range now that I can do a bit of comedy, I could be a baby face, which I was never primarily a baby face, and that's all down to him. So when we got paired together, I never thought it would change me and make me a better professional wrestler. And the funny thing is, it was never meant to happen. And that's... so
how did it come about, Sha? How exactly did it come about? Because I admit, when I heard that you guys were going to start tagging together, going, what?
Weird.
How did it come about? How did it come about?
Well, it was actually it was on the Cardiff leg of a tour just before Shug, where he was wrestling Joe Coffey in a cage, and I wrestled Grado, and we're just walking about. He goes, I don't know what's going to happen after Shug because I'm done with Grado. He says I'm the same. I'm done with Joe Coffey. I was like, and then Justice went, you know what? It'd be good. Me, you should have a stopgap. Be it like middle, bottom of the card, have a fun little tag team until they can figure out what to do with us. And told Dallas, Dallas didn't like it, apparently. I've never heard it from his mouth, but other people have told me Dallas didn't like it, right? So we did the first few, and then we realized how much fun we was having. I think they tried to split us at the Square Go, but I don't think the crowd wanted that. And then we got the endorsement from Drew, and we haven't looked back. Even to this day, people keep tweeting us, please, looking forward to the day you two turn on each other. Then there's like, I don't want you to turn on each other. Well, here is a scoop. That's never going to happen, okay? We're having too much fun. We're not a tag team. We're a double act. There's a point where he can go off and do his thing, I go off and do my thing, but we'll come back. We're the kinky party forever.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's like
you don't get that on wrestling these days.
Yeah. What's that?
Like you don't get that a lot in wrestling these days. But it used to be that used to be the kind of done thing with tag teams. Oh, Billy's disappeared. But,
welcome to the Simon and Sha show, everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I hope he comes back because he's got the controls. But but that's the thing. Like tag teams used to do that all the time. Like Hawk fought Ric Flair for like the world title and that, and it was kind of the done thing back then.
You do a beautiful story of like Jack Jester going for the title again.
Oh, lad.
Yeah. This time he's got me in his corner, and I'm hyping him up, helping him. And there's so much stuff we can do. People think, you've won the tag titles. Mate, you've wrestled every tag team. There's nothing else for you to do. Believe me, there's plenty of stuff for us still to do. So it's going to continue forever in our eyes because I won't say certain things, but we have refused to split up on more than one occasion.
I likened you to like the Fabulous Freebirds because they never broke up. They just evolved and they changed and they were just constantly a thing. I don't think there needs to be the big breakup because it doesn't work.
No, yeah, you're right. Jackie and Mark's another example. They never split up.
They never split up, and
Yeah.
you know
They
that's they could pick that up at any time. They could pick that up at any time, couldn't they?
They're both good enough that they could just revamp their gimmick, go a separate way, and when the time's right, in an ideal world, this is why we did the tribute match to Adrian, because this was Adrian's idea, right? And I remember he telling me one night, it was he goes, "This is a match that can main event Fear and Loathing if it had a long enough build." I mean, what's that, mate? What, you versus fucking whatever WWE wrestler? You versus RVD again? No, shut up, you prick. This is what I'm saying. You come out after winning the tag title, say for a second time, proclaimed to be the best tag team in ICW history. Polo's music plays. Big stare down. Who is the best tag team in ICW? And I reckon that's a match that can main event a Fear and Loathing. A tag team title match that can main event Fear and Loathing. Maybe that's my ego talking, but I think there's enough fan interest in that for a long feud,
Well,
that's just
I think I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling, as you both know, but I think it would be something different. When was the last time? Remember, there would have been a time where somebody went, women can never main event WrestleMania. That happened.
Yeah.
A tag match can't main event like one of the big cards. Totally for the tag team titles. With you guys and Polos, I think it'd be a great match. I think loads and loads of people would like to see that. Right, we've had another quick request in, right? And I've heard about this one. Have you any good Benetton stories you can share?
The fear that you can feel dripping out of Sha right now.
Thank you, Westy.
Look, Westy, if I had everyone else here and I had their permission, I would tell you loads of stories. Okay, loads of stories. But the fact is, it's just me. And if I start telling stories, I'm going to get text after text after text, and I'll probably lose friends. But just know, you get a group of wrestlers together and we go on holiday, it is fucking wild. That's all I can say.
That's fair enough. There you go. This is a great question, actually, by Gareth Kennedy. I'd love to know the answer to this, because over the last couple of years, Sha, I've seen you work with all kinds of opponents, all different styles. Who'd be your dream opponent?
Oh, it's a tough one, because I always say, when this question comes up, I always say Gray, though, because you have such chemistry, but I don't think that's a fair answer. So, that's a really, really tough one. I'd have to say there's two. Arn Anderson.
Oh.
Arn Anderson.
Oh.
And babyface, blonde Sting.
Sting? Yes!
If I could wrestle them two, I'll be a happy man. I
have rediscovered my love of blonde Sting.
I reckon, honestly, I really reckon Sting would be he's a perfect for a bad heel like me to beat. I reckon it'll work well. Obviously, I need to get a name battle first, but Arn Anderson, because I'm just such a fan of Arn Anderson.
Yeah,
and I reckon he's one of the greatest that's ever laced up boots.
100%. Right,
no question.
We got another one here. Just quickly. This is more of a thank you, really. This is from John, not a question, but thank you for all your positive. You gave us part of our positive, passing positive campaign. Most recently, Walk for Lionheart. Please come and visit Adrian's Memorial Bench when they get back to the college. We're going to get this out of the way in the middle of it, so we can get the positivity up here. The show goes on because lots of people are messaging about it. I
was going to say to John, thank you, because he obviously knew Adrian through college. And he got my number from somewhere, and I've spoke to him a lot, and it is hard for me sometimes to partake in these kind of things, because it upsets me. And I mean, it's a coward on my part, but we had such a special bond, and it still hurts to this day that we lost him. But I'll do whatever I can to make sure his memory lives on forever, because he has. And trust me, I've got lots of stories, nothing fun or outlandish. I'm talking about stories where he's helped people. Yeah. He's built people up. He's made people better performers. He gave people confidence. These stories need to be heard. And hopefully one day we can, share them,
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the start, just before we sort of kicked everything off. I went, fuck this virus, man. I wish we'd had the opportunity to do do like a real celebration, like a one fall or something live, and we could have got all these stories out. But another time, the clock's ticking.
He'll get another one. He deserves it. I mean, it's a shame again, like it couldn't happen because of lockdown. But we can celebrate him. I'm sure Twitter tomorrow will be flooded with tributes, and it'll be a teary day. And then we got Kenny Williams, who's raised so much money. I don't know how much he's raised so far for this.
It's crazy.
Run. And we've all donated prizes. He's done so well. We've all donated. The boys and girls have donated prizes. So you don't feel like, I've donated to charity. Because what we want we're giving you this stuff for free because we want you to donate as much as possible. So you get something, but also the charity gets a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot
yeah.
more. I mean, I don't know if I should be saying this. I mean, I'm up tomorrow in Glasgow. So I'll have a face mask on, don't worry. But I'm coming up to socially distance, and I'm going to his grave, and I'll wave hands from the boys from afar. I believe, 6 people in the garden? So I'm sure it could be.
Up here it's 2 households, 8 people.
What?
That's better. Listen.
There you go. We'll work something out. I know I'm doing like.
Miss it, man. If I was stuck here by myself, I would be a state. I mean, I'm no about it. I'm coming up to see his grave. I'm coming up to support as much as I can because he was my best friend.
Yeah, and it's and again, we want to give. It's a hard time for everybody. It's kind of weird, and we won't talk about it. But I literally have spent today walking around in a sort of fog about it because Anyway, let's get on with about positivity. Here's a question for you, mate. From Sean Mullen. This is a weird one. As a butcher, Sha Samuels, best sausage, sliced, square, lawn, or links? The world needs to know.
If you told me this before I started working for ICW, it would be lawn sausage, not a lawn sausage. What's the link? It'd be a link. This is square sausage. No, can't get enough of them. Square sausage is my favourite.
Well done.
We don't have them down here, right? Which is a fucking pain in the ass, but. So it would be links, but no, it's square sausage, man.
Square sausage.
Well, I remember going to a cafe in London a few years ago and asking for a potato scone. And honestly, the guy looked at me like I'd fallen out of a tree.
It's crazy to me, right? I know I come up to Scotland so much, right? And I feel accustomed to. I realise the culture is different, but I feel accustomed to it. And down here, it is completely 2 different countries. It's mental. Like, it is. Little things like food. Like you said, I'll have a potato scone. What? What's one of those? You know what I mean? Well, you get them a couple of miles up that way, mate. So,
listen, it's the perfect hangover recovery food, and that comes from somebody that doesn't drink, and I still have them. Right, we're going to ask this about. You said what your favorite moment was. Some of your favorite moment was in your career. How did wrestling kick off for you, Sha? Because we know. How did it all start for you? And in a nutshell, what was the journey to you becoming the butcher? These 10 butcher, Sha Samuels.
I'm thankful that I was a fan. As soon as I saw wrestling, I was a fan. My first memory was Earthquake on Brother Love show, squashing Hulk Hogan. That was my first memory. I could have watched it before, but that's my first memory. And I've been a fan ever since. Even through the new generation days, and when Attitude kicked off, it was all part and parcel of it. But I will say this: I was lucky enough to be in my 6th form college. There was a guy with the Rock's Brahma Bull tattoo on his arm. So I went up to him and went, "You must like wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan." And he went to me, "I trained to be a wrestler." I was like, "What? You can train to be a wrestler in this country?" I went, "Please take me with you. If I go once, I just want to try it out." And 18 years later, I'm stuck with it.
And
if it wasn't a hot day and he had a hoodie on, I would never be a wrestler.
That's wild to think.
Yeah,
like that tiny twist of fate. That's wild to think.
Yeah. It was like a double take. I'm just sitting there like this.
I think one of the most interesting things I remember you telling me about when you were training was that one day you showed up and your trainer just told you to stop coming to training. Is that?
I think I remember that. I think something like that happened. I was the foreign guy, right? I got a lot of things thrown at me, right? They stopped the training session, all right? My name's Sha Samuels, right? So they obviously these guys that run the school are in their 60s and their 70s. I'm not judging everyone who's 60 and 70, but they have a certain Bernard Manning kind of humour. Let's put it that way. Stop the lesson. We're all working our ass off. Then what do I get? Stop the class, stop the class, stop the class. Everyone stop. Big news. Points at me, the trainer. They found Shah's dad, Saddam Hussein. I was just like, no, there was not a laughter. Everyone was like,
wow.
Yeah. And then he put me in a gimmick called Sheikh Shah Hussein, which I had to endure.
Oh,
in 2002, a year fresh from 9/11. Thank you for that.
bloody hell. What was the origins of the East End Butcher then? When did you come to become an East End Butcher? Because
I thought like this sounds so like simplistic, but I always thought like wrestling, like you had Bret the Hitman Hart. Like you had Bret the Hitman Hart, you had the Heartbreaking Shawn Michaels, Big Daddy called Diesel. Everyone seemed to have a tag name. Even boxers had a tag name. So I thought to spice up Sha Samuels a bit, I thought I wanted that kind of name. And I'm vicious. I think it sounds vicious, isn't it? An East End Butcher, you know what I mean? I'll butcher you up, you know what I mean? But I couldn't think of one. And the only thing I could think of was I'm a butcher in the East End. So swap the words around. So that's how East End Butcher became part of my nickname.
fuck, there you go. Got a quick question in here. This one is from Daz. You mentioned talking about wrestling, legendary wrestlers. He's loving the Undertaker's Last Ride documentary. Have you seen it?
Love it.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you see yourself going for 30 years? Thanks, Daz.
All right, so that is probably the best wrestling documentary I've seen. And I don't know, this might sound pretty bad, but right now I'm a bigger fan of wrestling documentaries than actually wrestling.
Okay.
Right? That's not knocking the boys or people who wrestle and work hard, because it's hard what we do. But I just personally right now, because it's something I love, if the wrestling documentary's on, I'm fixated. You know what I mean? I'd rather watch that than a pay-per-view. That might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I love my wrestling documentaries. Now, in regards to seeing myself wrestling in 30 years, absolutely, mate. I'll be here for a long, long time. Long time. No problem.
Love it. Love it.
You work smart, you're fine.
It's I love that. Like everybody talks about I saw the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, and then the Undertaker one after it, and they're comparable, man. Like I think the Undertaker one's just that bit better because he's still here, he's still going,
he's still going. You just know next year as well, he's gonna have that one match. Because that match with AJ was a spectacle, but in my eyes, he deserves that long entrance.
Yeah.
80,000 people. And I think that's where they're going next year. It'll be him and AJ one-on-one in the match. And AJ will do what he does best. Fucking work his ass off. Make Taker look not like he needs to, but you know what I mean? Bring back the Taker of old. So I think that's where they're going to kind of end the documentary on. Like, that wasn't his last match. There's one more to go. And they'll start the hype. I hope so anyway. I could be wrong.
Yeah. That being said, there's a big part of me I still want to see him in Sting. But I've realised, realistically, all I actually want, I just want the entrances. I just want the entrances. That's kind of it. I want the hype video and the entrances. I don't mind about the match.
See the way they did it at Mania. I think they could do Sting versus Sid versus Taker. It's like Freddie versus Jason. I think they could do it. I think it's probably the only way they could do it. But
that match realised how much longevity they can get out of Undertaker now.
Yeah,
because they're filming it over 5 days. You say me you can't get 4 or 5 extra Mania matches out of it.
Oh yeah, it's basically just a movie fight scene.
Yeah, totally.
If you can get Clint Eastwood still doing them, you can definitely get enough years at the Undertaker.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of getting through folk because they're having an argument. Folk in the comments having an argument about things. Literally, one of them, a question, I should say, somebody wanted to know why you'd been called the East End Butcher, that you literally answered it, and then someone was going, don't
fight. Come on. We'll be friends. You love the same thing.
Let's have some fun. And mate, for all you talked about the year you've had, you've been a massive positive figure, certainly within the last few weeks. I mean, we've got to talk about it. I think it'd be hell of us not to, because it's such a powerful thing just now. And we're all learning, we're all getting educated. You're at the front. Obviously, there's what's going on, the Black Lives Matter movement all around the world. You've already hinted there a very personal story, and thank you for sharing that with us. How did you find, as you saw this blowing up around the planet, how did it affect you?
It affected me because I mean I know it's not on the same level in America, but you got to remember, living in England, it gets forgotten just how racist people are. I mean, if you look different, I mean, I've got Sikh friends, Muslim friends, Chinese friends. We all had black friends. We all had to deal with the same shit. In my school, with me, 180 people, 7 ethnic minorities, which I hate that minority. We're not a minority, we're people. But so of course, you got 7 people, and they see you different. You're an easy target. Now, I wasn't bullied or anything, because luckily, I wouldn't take none of that shit. But a lot of people, I saw a lot of people affect them and stuff, and it carried on. Like, so when my cousins worked in the shop, and then we work where our shop is a market trade, right? Market stalls, market traders and stuff, and they're as cockney as you get. So, like I say, you got my cousin, like, who manages the shop, like, because I was too young. It was like, I'm Vahid, nice to meet you. Vahid, what kind of name is that? Come on. You're Tom. You're Tom now. Called him Tom for the next 16 years, for fuck's sake. And he just was like, I guess I'm Tom. So that's no way to live. No, I'd be proud of your name. That's why I put my real name on my Twitter. Because I thought, I love my name, Sha Samuels, right? The only reason I'm doing that is I've got a lot of inspirational messages. And I'm just telling my story. Like what I had to go through, I had to experience. My mum and dad are a mixed race couple. She's English. And she was, more or less treated like dirt. Because how dare she go against one of her own? It's just terrible times. And I remember, my dad's got 2 master's degrees, right, to try and get a job. He studied for so long. He was more qualified than anyone. He was the only foreign guy. And this might sound to people, you get them people that think, oh, here we go, he's blaming it on his race. When the guy's got double the qualifications as everyone else interviewing for that job, why doesn't my dad get it? Yeah. That's not me, him going, oh, he's using his race as an excuse, chip on his shoulder, all that bollocks. No, that's facts. Yeah, double the qualifications of all them people, but they won't give it to him because his name's Abdul. It's mental.
And despite that, he's fought through that. He's had success, and you've had success. And what I loved about it was the reaction to the messages that you were putting out into your story, even that just about your name, because it's so silly that everyone thinks the names that we have are real names and what have you. And because you're such a larger than life character, I think it was just almost pulling the curtain back a little bit and reminding people that we are all people together. We are all in this together. But you guys, you've had to go through such struggles, man.
Oh, thank you very much. But luckily, I feel like if you're confident about things, you won't have any troubles now. Because, look, the amount of people, like, seeing what's going on in the world inspired me to say something. Because I felt like I had to say something. You know, I was one of them people in the first few days that I was like, it's not my place to say anything. It's not my place to say anything. I felt like I shouldn't say nothing because, you know, I don't want to overstep my boundaries. And I was like, no, let me turn their story, because racism is racism, right? If we don't, that's what it is, all right? If I don't tell like stories of my experiences, just got them off my chest. It was all because of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'd like to say thank you for them for inspiring me to tell my problems and my stories. I was getting messages after messages from people that said, thank you. Same thing happened to me, to my cousin, to my uncle. They had to go through their whole lives with different names and had the piss taken out of them and stuff like that. For what? You know, they work hard. They want to make money. They want to go home to their families. You know, racism still exists, and this might sound bad, but I feel like a lot of Englishmen. I don't know what it's like up in Scotland. I feel like a lot of Englishmen say there isn't. But when you're starting calling someone who's called Vahid Tom, just to put a plaster over the situation, and you still talk to him, does not make you. That makes you racist, mate. In my eyes, because you're not letting him use his real name. You know, and it's intimidating. And this is what when he first came over here. You know, he studied, he managed the shop, but you know, first day you get treated with that, it knocks your confidence. You feel like, have I got to go through life? You know, lying about who I am to get ahead. Which is exactly what my dad thought. My name was meant to be Samuel Reed. My mum's maiden name is Reed, right? And they argued, and he goes, no, Samuel Reed, my son, is not going to part with what I had to part with. Which is sad, right, when you're naming a baby.
Yeah.
But luckily, my mum loved the name Shaheen Samuel Hassanpour, and she put it in a birth certificate. And I haven't had any problems except at school where they take an extra 40 seconds to a minute, which causes the whole class to laugh at you. Shaheen, you can read. You're a teacher. You can fucking read, mate. Don't try to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like it's not a hard name to read or pronounce either.
No, it's not. But it's just something like I've never felt comfortable having it. Even in my Facebook page, it's not my full name. I put it on Twitter as a thingy, but you know, I've just put my surname off just because you know people can find you. You know, on Facebook and stuff. So I just put Shaheen, which means eagle in Iranian. So I just put an eagle next to it. So that was good. But it is a mental place we live in. I'm glad I did it. it. I thought I was going to get a lot of backlash for it because you know how some people think there's problems going on, there's protests. Why are you making this about me? The reason I'm making this about me because they had given me the courage to speak up about it.
Yep.
And in the current climate, it needs to get done.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Let's get it back onto some wrestling, shall we? Because loads of people are loads of positive comments about it all as well. But I'm gonna ask this question because what was your first impression of ICW?
Right. This was the first thing you thought? You can ask Grado this. Like, I never could stand Grado, right? And this is all based on his Twitter profile picture and a bum-fussed moustache, reading MSN magazine. I was like, I'm going to hate this guy. But because I saw him, who he was getting over, I was YouTubing ICW, right? And I could not believe the crowds, could not believe the atmosphere, could not believe how fun it looked. And I was like, I need to get, because I was on the verge of quitting. Because I was like, because we had nothing here. There was no NXT UK. Guys weren't getting signed to go abroad. Guys weren't going to New Japan. Where's the end game? I thought, it's time. Let's go off, get a proper job. And then Grado came down south, and I worked him. I said something to him. He goes, what do you mean ICW? I'm like, you know what pisses me off? I went, people fly themselves to Japan, to Mexico, when we got the hottest fucking thing north of the border. Yeah. And that was the hottest thing. 2013 to 14, 15, 16. No one could have touched us. The roster we had, It was the hottest place to work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what my first impression. Seeing, I think I saw Dave's. Where's the one where Grado won the belt from Rudo? He got over switch.
Oh, that was Super Smoking Thunderball.
Yep.
Yeah.
He beat Red. Yeah.
I watched the match.
He won the belt, and then they reversed the decision at the end of the night. We started the match.
Skills. And then I saw Still Smoking with Grado and Cabana, Sabu, and Jester. I was like, and I only knew Grado for a few matches we had down here. I was like, mate, can you put a word in for Dallas? He's like, probably wouldn't listen, mate. Luckily, the gods looked down on me. I think about 3 weeks later, ICW did their first London show.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
From that, and he put me on the second London show. And it was after the second London show I worked Grado in a singles match. Dallas said to me, he said, I've never seen Grado have a match like that. You've just shown me how much diverse he can be. Because he was just doing all the ha-ha stuff. Yeah. We had a fight, a physical fight, you know. And he goes, and he pulled me aside. I'm on the stairs, blowing out my arse. He goes, Sha, you're on this roster forever now after that match. And every show since, pretty much.
Oh, I mean, fuck, man.
It's a slight detour from that, but talking about that first show in London and you're kind of initially coming into ICW, how did it come about that you were a member of Polo Promotions?
You were going to ask that.
That kind of gets swept under the rug in ICW history.
Jackie was commentating with me and he goes, oh, by the way, I'm Sha's manager. And it's like, are you? I didn't even know about it.
Right? So you had like Jackie managing me all of a sudden. I'm part of Polo Promotions. So yeah. And then like 3 months later, I'm wrestling Mark Coffey. And it's just forgotten about.
Well, I remember like it was the night before when you seen that you were on I think it was in Leeds, the two you meant to working. And literally sitting in the bar going, we should just come through the curtain already fighting and pretend we started fighting in the pub last night and haven't stopped. God, there's still part of me wishes that's what you done. Just brawl through the curtain. Just they started fighting last night.
Anything to get out of doing 20 minutes, mate. Anything to get out of doing.
Right, let's get a couple more. This built-in question, actually. We're talking about nights out. Any tag team that the Kinky Party could take out on a night out, past, present, who would it be? Any era? Right. You and Jester are taking
Road
that team
Warriors,
out.
Man. Road Warriors would have one hell of a party. But I don't know about Animal, but Hawk was a party animal. So I'd like to go out with the Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom?
Yeah.
That's it. I'd have thought it would have been Brainbusters, maybe you and.
But I watched the Dark Side of the Ring, and so I might say like the party. I was like, right, you think you can party, Road Warriors? Come out of me and Jack. Come out of me and Jester. Wish I had done.
There's got to be a good night out there.
Oh,
yeah, great.
Come on, that's going to be a good one. Right, let's get to a couple of these last ones. Actually, we were talking about Taker. I'm always interested in what people prefer in terms of wrestling, right? Here's on Sean Rigby. Sha, do you think Biker Taker or Deadman Taker?
It's a tough one because I grew up on so I knew him when I was like a proper child, but your teenage years, you grew up on the Deadman and you thought it was cool as fuck. So I have to say the Deadman. He's my soft spot for him. And but then again, when he came back as the regular Taker, it was still cool. But I don't think he should do another big run as the Taker, the biker Taker.
Yeah, this is a debate me and Scott Reed. This is a debate me and Scott Reed for some reason have every WrestleMania, because for some reason he goes, yeah, and I'm just convinced this year the gong's gonna hit. And then he's going to come out in the bike, and it's American Badass. But every time he says it, I just go, I don't get why you want this. Like, I don't get why you want this to happen. Like,
you know what? Right? If he comes back next year, if he works AJ Styles next year at Mania, he'll be normal Taker. The reason they did the American Badass for this show, for this match at Mania recently, because he can't do his big entrance. Let him be the bike Taker. He rides it on a bike. He looks like fucking an old old fighter. He's on his last legs, and it worked.
Boom.
I reckon it'll just the crowd lose out on seeing that entrance because that is something special to see.
Yeah.
I've got a quick question about one of my favorite kinky. I mean, there's loads, absolutely loads. I loved that you brought something to the Scottish crowds that nobody had seen in a while. And I know you were saying about how the English versus Scotland thing, but what I like about Sha Samuels, East End Butcher, and even though what you're doing with the kinky party is Sha Samuels is bad-tempered, has everything, it makes him a bad guy. Do you think, is that a lost art? Is that a lost art in wrestling, that the bad guys, the bad bastards, the arsehole, they're all, I mean, because that's the thing about Sha. Like, I'm trying to remember, do you know, I just remember the shit you would give the crowd, and they were on you. I don't think I've ever seen a wrestler actually instantly get such heat with a Scottish crowd, and they get more and more and more.
I feel blessed. Like, I mean, I've never been a babyface, and that was my first time in ICW, and it's overwhelming, really. If you look at it, look, I'm a cock. My gimmick is I'm a working class. Like, I'm not like the smartest man in the world. I'm set in my ways. I'm very old school with my mentality. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a proud Englishman and all. That's the gimmick. It's a working class. Everything I just said. You would be surprised a guy like that can get over and be one of the top guys, top faces in ISW. And I think that's because of the double act with me and Jack. We call it a double act, not a tag team. It's a double act because our chemistry gelled, but you understand, like, we complement each other, but together is what makes us that, I believe.
One of my favorite moments though was when you had your party. I think it was down in Newcastle. Was it Newcastle? The one where he got, and I hate the fact that we all called this poor fan a stripper, even though she wasn't. Right? But if you have, if you have, I don't do it. Yeah, if you have time tonight, if you're watching this, take a chance, and you've got to check out this party that Jester threw for Sha. And this was kind of like when the character of Sha was just kind of starting to buy into the kinky party. Yeah. You weren't quite there. So that's your first time in doing comedy, man. And I have to admit, it was like watching Panto, and I mean this in the nicest way. You look like you're having a fucking ball.
That's great. I mean, we've been lucky enough to be in some segments that they're the segments that bring me out of my shell, because this is stuff I've never done before. Yeah. You know, like, I could have fallen on my ass. If I was by myself doing this gimmick, it wouldn't work. It's because I'm with Jester. No, he's in the ring with me, and I've got the confidence. Because if I'm not trying to make the crowd laugh, I'm trying to make him laugh. You know, so it works.
Has there ever been a kinky party entrance that's gone wrong?
I say 9 times out of 10 they go wrong. We get told off every time we come back. Our entrances are too long. We get told when it's all in, and when your entrance is 10 minutes, you're in trouble. So they don't go to plan.
I do remember there was a fairly recent one that by the time you finished your entrance and we did the main event introductions and you did the drink down, and I literally looked at Thomas and he went, "They've technically got 2 minutes left."
But you know what? I will say this. They trust us with it. I reckon, but it will save a lot of hassle. I know they've got a lot of guys. But we can't do our segment, and they're eating it up. And then we can't just say, like, time's up. See you later. Bye. We've got to finish it through. Because I believe in crowd interaction. It's like you as a comedian. Imagine you just ignored what they were saying to you and just did your set like a robot. How would that get down? It'll be terrible, right? So same with us. I feel like we've got our stuff planned. We've planned it for the 12 minutes or so. If it goes over, we can't control that because we're trying to entertain the people that have paid money to see us. You know? I'm no disrespect the guys, and I'm not going to name names, but there's certain matches on that show that you'd think it was interval. It was so quiet. So why should we be getting heat for entertaining the crowd and go 5 minutes? When the match has got 15 minutes, cut in 5 minutes. Maybe it do them a world of good. And that's not a knock on anyone. I mean, that's just that's to my opinion.
Well, look, we're getting ready to wind things up here. Just very quickly, if you've got any last minute questions, now's the time to get them in for Sha.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming to because we're coming up in the hour. We don't want to overrun. I know I overrun at the start of every ICW show, so I'm determined to keep these on time.
Yeah.
Oh. Is it all right? Okay, yeah, we are overrunning. Everyone's getting on. We just quickly, I think it'd be fair to say, Sha, thank you for taking the time to talk to us tonight. I know you've got millions of stuff. I know you're going to come up to Scotland, and I know we're going to be back. We're not going to. We'll fucking get through this bastard fucking cunt bag of a virus. I'm sick of being nice about it, or not even just professional about it. I could just fuck off. I've had it, man. I've just fucking had it. But we just very quickly want to say, where can people find you on social media, Sha? We know that you've still got, I think you've still got the store and stuff online as well.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Right. On Twitter and Instagram is at Sha Samuels. Facebook.com/ I don't know which slash. One of the slashes you got to guess. Sha Samuels. And my store is Sha Samuels at Big Dog. Oh, let's start that again. Sha Samuels at bigcartel.com. And if you didn't catch that, it's Sha Samuels at bigcartel.com.
All right,
anything you want, it's on there. So.
Get it right. Well, that's all we've got time for on this episode of ICW Lockdown. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you all again soon.
Love you too. Love you both.
Should we do the waving? Should we do the waving? Bye.